Hello everyone. Today we will begin a new story. A story about a legendary journey, superb trickery, and unimaginable strength. The story about Thor's journey to Utgard. But first, check out the awesome new clothes I have. Made by Larissa, the master dressmaker of Maestri Marpurgi. And if you're wondering about the blue and the red, let me assure you that Middle Ages were very colorful. If you're used to the gray and the brown colors, you may have fallen victim to the needless Hollywood filters. But anyway, let's go back to Thor. One morning, Thor took his chariot, pulled by two goats, named Tangrisnir and Tangnjoster, and began his journey from Asgard towards Jotunheim. But he was not alone. He was accompanied by none other than Loki. Towards the end of the first day, they reached a poor farmer's house. And the farmer offered them hospitality, as it was very important in the Old Norse culture. Thor was, of course, grateful, and therefore he offered his two goats to be eaten for supper. He had one condition though. He took the goat skins and laid them on the floor and demanded that everyone who is eating is very careful with the bones and that they throw the bones on the goat skins. But the poor farmer's son, Thjalfi, was so hungry that he broke one of the bones and even sucked the marrow out of it. The next morning, Thor took his hammer, Mjolnir, blessed the goat skins and the bones, and miraculously, his two goats came back alive. There was one problem though. One of the goats had a lame leg and could not walk properly. And therefore Thor was furious. He wanted to kill the whole farmer's family. But the farmer saved himself by offering his two children, his son Thjalfi and his daughter Roskva, to be Thor's bondservants. And Thor accepted. So from this point onwards, we see these two children as Thor's servants in all the other stories. So the group of four went on their journey towards Jotunheim. They reached an ocean that separates Midgard from Jotunheim, took a boat and rowed across, then walked through a thick forest, and by the next evening, they reached a hole. A great big hole, very dark hole. And it was so big that you could basically fit a whole house just under the entrance. And they decided to sleep there. But this was not an ordinary hole. And what this hole was, I will tell you when I see you next time.